In a neighborhood full of young families, the reality of this tragedy is setting in. The crime scene spans blocks, with reminders of the party that was underway when shots rang out, still in full view.
This was a reckless, cowardly act of violence that has taken 2 lives and altered many, many more.
It was shortly past midnight when the 911 calls came in. Police say at least 2 people pulled guns and opened fire at an annual block party in a public housing community.
We don't know if they were targeted or if they were just shooting indiscriminately down the street or up the street.
The victims range in age from 13 to 32. Of the 30 people shot, 14 are children.
This is insanity. This cannot be the society that we are expected to live in.
Local and state officials made familiar pleas for change to reduce gun violence, a demand Baltimore's top trauma surgeon has been making for years.
I don't think it's written down anywhere that somebody has to pick up a gun and shoot another person. And so to me, these are 100% preventable.
Dr. Thomas Scalia is the physician-in-chief at the country's only dedicated trauma hospital. He says it's rare that he doesn't have to treat a gunshot wound during a shift. Gun violence is so common in his city that when he sits down with a family to tell them their loved one is dead, it's not necessarily a shock.
You know, these moms, parents, they're very grief-stricken that this has happened, but they're not actually surprised. It's part of the life in the city of Baltimore.
And Katie, this marks the 338th mass shooting in the U.S. just this year.
Yes, and the U.S. is well on its way to have another year with more than 600 mass shootings. They've passed that mark the last 3 years in a row. Lawmakers had hoped perhaps this year might be different. After the elementary school shooting in Uvalde, Congress passed legislation they described as the most significant in decades. Regulations to make it harder to get a gun, programs to encourage states to pass red flag laws. For all the congratulations in Washington about reaching compromise in a divided Congress and actually passing some legislation, there does not appear to be major change in gun violence trends in this country.
Katie Simpson, thank you.
Thanks.